What's up, guys? It's Jay with Bearded Dad Fishing, and we all know the Old Town Autopilot is one of the most stable, versatile, and game-changing fishing kayaks on the market. But I'm always on the hunt to make my rig even better, so I'm sharing with you guys my 7 favorite upgrades for the Old Town Sportsman Autopilot 120 and 136. But first, dad joke of the day: why don't cannibals eat clowns? Because they taste funny. So the Old Town Autopilot is, in my opinion, the most premier fishing kayak available on the market today for a lot of reasons, including but not limited to its size, its crazy weight capacity, the stability, the features, and of course the motor with the spot lock technology. But there are a couple things that can make this rig a little bit better, so that's what we're gonna go over in this video. And the first item on our list is the Yak Hobby transducer mount. Now, all the kayaks from Old Town, from the Sportsman lineup, come with universal transducer mounts, but they hang too low, and that exposes your transducer to damage. Anytime you hit some debris, you hit some rocks, or when you're launching or beaching your kayak. So Yak Hobby comes through and saves the day with a really simple solution. It's a 3D printed transducer mount. Let me show y'all real quick. I'm not lifting this kayak, so this will have to do, but you'll see it right here, and it mounts directly into the existing transducer mount from Old Town. So what it does is it lifts up the transducer about 1.5 inches, because this is the transducer right here, and typically it would go right in line with this keel or even hang a little bit lower. And we don't want that, because again, you're gonna run into all types of debris and damage your transducer. Now, the best part about this is that the Yak Hobby transducer mount is only 30 bucks, so really inexpensive for saving a very expensive part of your setup. Accessory number 2 is a Sasquatch design crossbar. Now, I love this accessory because it allows you to mount all of your gear in front of you instead of on the sides, so you can clear up the side space when you're fishing and you don't get anything in the way when you're trying to net a fish. There's a lot of different options when it comes to these crossbar Captain's Bridge designs now. A lot of different people make them, and Sasquatch Designs is one of the most expensive options, but I like it because it is extremely sturdy. This is stainless steel and it's not going anywhere, and it also provides more versatility because it gives you 3 additional rails that you can mount on. So you can mount on the top, the front, or the back. So right now I have my fish finder mounted to it, the controller for my Yak Power, and a paddle holder that I actually use to hold my net. I've also got my Rogue Gear Titan leash connected to the crossboard, which is connected to my catch board. So the flexibility is pretty limitless when it comes to this. There's guys that will put 2 screens next to each other for their maps or their live scope. There's guys that will put stacked screens on one side so they could put gear on the other. I mean, you could put 3 screens on this easy. And because it's so sturdy, this crossbar is not going to sag or give you any additional problems. It's also coated, so you're not gonna have to worry about it rusting or corroding in the future. One of the questions I get the most regarding the Captain's Bridge or the crossbar is whether it gets in the way of clearing the motor if something happens. So I added the motor on here so you guys can see that it does not actually impact you getting in there. If you have to clear out your motor from some gunk or some weeds, you can do so just fine. In fact, on my last couple of trips, I had to do just that. And it allows you to either go from the top to clear it or from the bottom. The only downside about this crossbar is the fact that it does not come with the mounting hardware. I added these knobs here on both sides to hold it down. It didn't come with it. So I will link this below so that you can see exactly the ones I use. I love these because you can tighten them and loosen them up with your hand. But it doesn't come with that hardware, which I think is kind of odd, especially for the price. So this crossbar is 140 bucks. Again, one of the most expensive options when it comes to this Captain's Bridge crossbar accessory, but still, in my opinion, one of the best because its sturdiness and flexibility. But you do have to add your own hardware. Upgrade number 3 is replacing the motor plug for the Minn Kota motor. Yes, that is one of the most popular complaints when it comes to Autopilot owners, is the fact that the prongs on the stock motors break very often, they corrode easily, and they're exposed, which means you can kick it. If you pull it at a wrong angle, if it hits something, those prongs can come off, and that has happened to people while they're out on the water. So if that happens when you're on the water, you're out of luck, like you're dead without power, so you need to paddle to wherever you're going. So last summer I replaced the plug on the motor with this Amazon plug. I believe it's called the Gyrin, and it's rated for up to, I believe it's 50 amps. I will put the product link down below so you guys can check it out. But I replaced it just to prevent that from possibly happening, and I made a whole video about it, so I will link the video down below so you can see how I did the install. I am not an electrical type of guy that I do this often, so I was surprised at how easy it was to replace this plug. But in addition to replacing the plug, you also have to obviously replace the receptacle, which I did it right on top of the existing receptacle, just so that I wouldn't have to screw another hole into the kayak. Some guys will put it up here, which is fine. You can plug it right up there. But one of the things I love about this plug is that it only goes in one direction. And once it goes in, it does not come off unless you twist the knob and pull it out. So that's one of the best things. And with the stock plug that the motor comes with, you can just yank it out. So what a lot of times people forget to unplug it. It's happened to me. They forget to unplug it. They just they take their motor out and it just rips the plug out instead of holding it in place, and that's where the prongs break. This plug is about $38 on Amazon currently, and it comes in a 2-pack. So in addition to doing the motor, you can also do the battery box as well, which I did not do that just yet, but the install was easy, and I definitely recommend doing this so that you're not caught dead in the water. And upgrade number 4 is an awesome tool holder by Navarre Kayak Fishing. Now this tool holder goes right in front of your seat, totally out of the way, and honestly super helpful to keep your tools organized. It also comes with a slot in the back here so you can put a 3600 tackle box. I've been out with this thing a couple times this year and absolutely love it. I keep my most used tackle right here at my feet, as well as my fishing pliers and my lip grips, and both of these are attached using the Rogue Micro Guardian leashes. Love these things, and they're very sturdy. The best part about the tool holder is the fact that you don't have to drill any new holes into your kayak to secure it. It uses the same holes for the low seating position seat holder. So just like right here is the high seating position, this is the low seating position, and it uses the same holes. Since most people don't ever use the low seating position, including myself, this is super convenient and innovative to use that space that is otherwise wasted. And the tool holder is only $35 from Nick over at Navarre Kayak Fishing. He really makes some really cool, innovative stuff. And in fact, the next 2 upgrades are from Navarre Kayak Fishing as well. The next upgrade for the Autopilot is a keel guard. And the keel guard that I'm using for this Autopilot is the one from Navarre Kayak Fishing. Yes, you can make your own keel guard. I've done it in the past for my PDL 120, and honestly, it came out great. So I have no complaints if you want to do it yourself. However, if you want a pre-made product that fits perfectly and it looks a little bit cleaner, Navarre Kayak Fishing's got you covered. He makes some awesome stuff. So this is the keel guard right here, and it's exactly that. It's just meant to protect the keel of your kayak when you drag it, when you're launching, when you're beaching, whatever it is, when you hit some debris. It protects your keel because your keel is the most vulnerable, especially since when people lift up their kayak from the rear to move it, that's what's getting scratched up and dinged up a little bit. The great thing about the keel guard from Navarre Kayak Fishing is the fact that it comes in a kit. So it includes the marine goop, it includes the alcohol prep pad, even includes a cool little sticker, but it includes everything you need, so you don't have to buy this here, buy that there. Again, you can do it and it works great, but for the convenience factor, everything's included all in one, and it's only $40 for the keel guard, the marine goop, and the alcohol prep pad. To install it, again, very easy. And the next upgrade for the Autopilot is this handle mount by Navarre Kayak Fishing. Super innovative and a good use of, again, otherwise wasted space. Every Old Town Sportsman kayak comes with a handle on either side as well as a handle in the front, and Navarre Kayak Fishing makes a replacement handle mount for the sides and the front. So if you wanted to mount a GoPro camera mount here so that it's shooting directly at you, you can do that. If you wanted to put a mount here for a light, you can do that. So what I use my handle mount for is for this ram mount that is then attached to my Sniper Marine transducer pole for my live scope. Otherwise, I would have to mount the live scope pole over here, and that is way too far from my seat. This allows me to have the pole right next to me within arm's reach without me having to scoot up or move over or anything. So again, it's very, very limitless what you could put on there. You could put rod holders for trolling, you could put your fish finder, you can put whatever you want on here. I actually originally used this for my fish finder. I mounted this 9-inch Garmin 93 SV fish finder on here with the Yak Attack lock and load fish finder mount, and it worked absolutely great on my PDL 120s. And Navarre Kayak Fishing has accessories for Old Town, for Hobies, and he makes custom accessories as well for other kayaks. So if you need anything, check him out. This handle mount is only $25 currently on his website. And the final upgrade for the Old Town Autopilot is the Yak Power relay switch system. If you watch any of my kayak setup videos within the last couple of years, you will see my Yak Power setup. And the Yak Power, if you don't know what it is the best way to organize your electronics on your kayak so that you don't have a bunch of wires hanging out, you don't have a bunch of batteries for different accessories. It allows you to combine everything in one place and control it all from a little control. So you have the power that comes in. So I keep my battery in my Blackpack Pro, and this is the battery cable right here. So it goes right into this plug, and this plug is actually this wire right here. So it powers up the entire system, and you have these 5 switches for whatever you want to do with. I have it situated currently where I have the fish finder on one, the GoPro charger on the other, my lights on the other, my live scope on the 4th one, and on the 5th one I currently don't have anything on there. But you can set it up so that you can have a charger for your phone, or charger for your GoPro, you know, your power pole, whatever it is. You can set it up any which way you want. I would say limitless is probably the adjective I want to use again, because my whole setup is made to be flexible and change as my needs change. And that's the great thing about the Yak Power system, is you could change it as you need to. If I get rid of my GoPro, I can replace whatever goes to the GoPro charger, which is this one right here. So I have a plug that converts it to a USB, and my GoPro plugs right in there. But if I want to plug my phone into there, I just take that plug out and put my phone, and it will charge my phone. So there's a lot of different things you can do with the system. I also have lights as well. So you'll see these little button lights. I have 4 in the front cockpit. I want to add 4 in the back, and I also want to add navigation lights. And speaking about lights, Yak Power sells their own lights. They sell navigation lights, spotlights, button lights in various different colors as well. So the great thing is that when you're picking out your system, you can pick it specifically for your needs. They also have an 8-gang switch, which is essentially this, but with 8 different outputs. So if you have a lot of electronics, that's a great way to go. Building your own system online is extremely easy. You can actually pick out a system that's pre-made, or you can build your own custom-made system specifically for what you need and what you want. And the price varies anywhere from $100 to $300 or more, depending again on what you add to your system. I'll also include the link to Yak Power, and when you go to order, make sure you use the code BDF5, and that gives you 5% off your entire order. And if you want to see my complete kayak fishing setup for my Autopilot 136, check out this video right here. So till next time, guys, peace and God bless.